Hello, Pete. I'm Jeff, and before I go into detail about myself, I just wanted to thank you so much for your consideration for me in this process and taking the time to review my resume as well as this video. So I'm going to work through your questions in order, starting with the 30,000-foot view of my last 2 years, which is a great place to start because 2 years ago I took over the lead in the marketing department for the company I currently work for. I'm the Dissemination and Marketing Coordinator for BSCS, a company that creates curriculum, conducts research, and performs professional development to advance the teaching and learning of science. I started there 3 years ago part-time, quickly moved into a full-time role, and then 1 year after my start, I took the lead in the department, which brings me to the last 2 years part of your question. In my resume, I lay out some of the achievements and responsibilities I've had in this role. But I'm assuming your motivation in asking this question is to get a little more of a personal view of my approach to work as well as professional growth. So upon coming into this role, I really wanted to focus on 3 things. The first was streamlining the effectiveness of processes that we already had in place. The second was fostering relationships and growing relationships that we already had. And the third was to look at markets that we weren't yet focusing on and get plugged in those areas. And without going into all the minor details, I was able to take an 8-hour process for student uploading, notification, and course registration and turn it into a 30-minute process, just using Excel, Word, and the tools that are involved for bulk uploading and bulk emailing. I was behind an effort for creating new service that tapped us into a market that we weren't yet focusing on and generated a good deal of revenue for the organization. And I was also able to put into place a new follow-up procedure that helped convert folks that were previewing our products to actually begin using our products. Through this time, I've gotten to learn and grow through experience not only on the job, but also through personal efforts, whether that be reading books, articles, or working through online courses from sites like lynda.com. So between creating and implementing the organization's marketing and sales plans, preparing materials for representing the organization at trade shows, carrying out the e-communications efforts, providing graphic design support, and communicating with those interested in the products and services, I've had a very busy 2 years. But there are 2 years of much growth in me professionally, and 2 years in which I was able to help BSCS succeed in carrying out their mission. And with that, I'd like to shift gears into the way that I communicate. And a key component of how I communicate involves listening, because it's hard to help or assist a person with their needs if you don't take the time to listen to what they have to say. In addition to my work as a customer service representative, I also held several retail jobs when I was younger, and this experience helped me learn the value of a warm greeting, asking a customer open-ended questions, and giving them an option between something and something as opposed to something and nothing. And by doing these things, I'm able to make them feel welcome, get a good amount of detail on their interests and concerns and what they're looking for, and help get product in their hand. And while I haven't had a role that's specifically sales over the phone, I'm very confident in my communication abilities and my ability to work with customers. And this brings me to your third question. I've attended churches that range from 30 members to 30,000 members, and I'm always interested to see what materials they use to communicate. First, I understand websites. Often the website's the first place someone goes to investigate a new church. And from welcome videos on the homepage to core beliefs, I understand the processes that go into creating a site, keeping it current, and engaging the audience. I'm familiar with bulletins, brochures for camps and retreats, and welcome cards. I've seen signs and banners for promoting Vacation Bible School or simply pointing out the direction to the nursery. And I've seen different PowerPoint displays or worship backgrounds. And one thing that I would like to point out is that I'm not only familiar with these items, but I have a very intimate understanding because of my experience. Having marketed for events and trade shows, it's put me at the front of creating websites, performing social media updates, designing flyers and banners, and so I'm very comfortable with my understanding of these things. My experience with technology is pretty extensive. I'd consider myself highly skilled in Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, iContact, Photoshop, and Illustrator, and I have some experience in Prezi, InDesign, Bridge, and Windows Movie Maker. I built my PC at home and usually learn any program with ease. While I've never used a CRM in the past, I'm very confident in my ability to learn quickly. My experience in sales comes from several of my previous roles. Currently, I promote products and services to schools, districts, and teachers, and while the main medium used in this promotion is direct email, I often speak with educators to discuss the benefits of using materials over the phone. Marketing our services makes up a majority of my efforts, and these services typically fall between the $1,000 and $1,500 price range for attending a professional development institute with us. I've successfully recruited the teachers necessary for running all the institutes since I've taken over this role. In my role as a customer service representative with Westone Laboratories, I received calls and emails with questions regarding products. I spoke with callers and took product orders over the phone. With several different products, we were encouraged to upsell based on the customer's needs. In this position, I worked almost primarily over the phone and gained skill and confidence in assisting customers this way. As I briefly mentioned, I've previously worked on the sales floor in retail, where selling was my job. This gave me the opportunity to engage with customers and helped me understand common practices for helping people find a solution to their needs. And this brings me to the last question regarding my strengths on working with customers who aren't marketing savvy. For me, this is pretty simple because I find marketing to be pretty simple at its core. You want to deliver the right message at the right time to the right people in the right way. And if I ever find someone having a difficult time understanding something marketing related, I'll often put them in the situation where they would experience what we're talking about. For example, if I were to be working with someone who wants to create a pull-up banner to put in their church lobby, and on it they wanted to have their logo, their mission statement, a list of service times, and also a message to welcome new customers. I can understand that that would be a little overwhelming and maybe a little too much to put on a sign, but they might not see that at first. So I'd ask them to envision themselves on a busy Sunday morning walking in and seeing the sign. It's my guess that on that morning, they're not stopping to read every sign they see along the way. So the message needs to be clear, focused, and large enough to catch somebody's eye. So what I might consider is maybe getting another banner that welcomes folks who are new and put it near the services desk or the information desk, or trying to put your mission maybe in top of your bulletin or something of that nature. And this illustration can help people get thinking about the functionality of what they're trying to do and maybe suggest ways that they could do it better. I also think honesty is key in speaking with someone who might lack a little understanding in the area. Nobody likes to go to their local mechanic and have them say you need new tires, brakes, shocks, and an alignment, just to go down the street to another mechanic and have them tell you that everything looks to be in good working order. If folks lack a little understanding in a certain area, well, it's obviously the right thing to do. Being honest can gain a lot of trust and go a long way in creating a long-term relationship. I hope this video gives you a better picture about who I am and my background. I look forward to the next steps of this process, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help. I hope you have a great day.